Olga stood and stared at the man lying unconscious on the floor at her feet. Most people in this situation would call the police, but she had other plans. Plans she could carry out thanks to the bottle of pills she held in her hand. She smiled and waited. Any moment now, justice would be served. And it would be the last thing he or the police expected. Hey guys, welcome to Bent Planet, where I tell you true stories of humans in abnormal predicaments. Tales that will twist your mind, and this story is no exception. Alright, get comfortable. Are you ready to hear a story? 28-year-old Olga Zajac was the proud owner of a hair salon in the town of Mechkovsk in Russia. It was 2009 and she had just wrapped up another day of work, styling hair and giving beauty treatments to regular customers. After waving the last of them out the door, she cleaned up and then began going through the cash register to count through the day's earnings. So as she's counting through the cash with her back to the door, she hears someone walk in. And without any real concern, she turns to tell them that she's already closed for the day. But as she does, she's met by a man who she doesn't recognize, marching towards her with a threatening look on his face. Shocked, she has no time to react before he yells at her, demanding that she empty the till drawer and hand over all the cash. A rush of adrenaline surges through her body, but rather than feeling intimidated, as most people would, Olga feels a familiarity that only comes from years of training as a fighter, because Olga held a black belt in karate. As the stranger lunged forward to attack her, Olga's body automatically moved to the side, avoiding his grip. Slipping into a familiar pattern, she struck at the intruder, throwing him off balance before swinging her leg into the air, kicking the side of his head with such force that it knocked him to the ground. Bang! His body fell like a dead weight. She had knocked him unconscious. Staring at his limp body on the salon floor, Olga began running through the options of what she should do next. Before long, she knew exactly what needed to happen. She bent down, grabbed him under the shoulders, leaned her weight back onto her heels, and dragged him along the floor towards the door. But not the front door where he had entered. The back door, a door leading to a private back room. Once inside, she pulled him over to a radiator and, leaning his body up against it, she took a hairdryer with a long extension cord and tied him up so he couldn't go anywhere. Then, instead of calling the police, Olga decided that she would be the one to serve the man justice. When the robber came back to his senses, he barely had time to speak before Olga grabbed his chin, pushing tablets into his mouth. She then pushed a glass of water to his lips, forcing him to swallow them down. Then she undid the buttons on his shirt and the zipper on his jeans, sliding them off his body until he was exposed and naked. And then, as the stranger looked up at her, still groggy from the beating and wondering what the hell was going on, Olga began taking off her own clothes, staring at the man with focused attention, waiting patiently for the Viagra to take effect. For the next few days, Olga continued to force-feed Viagra to Viktor Jasinski, while she made good use of the effects, using him as her personal sex slave to teach him a lesson about trying to intimidate, threaten, and rob a woman. Eventually, after 3 days of being her captive, Viktor swore to her that he had learned his lesson, and Olga agreed that the deal was done. She untied Viktor, let him get dressed, and even handed him some money before seeing him out the door. Releasing her captive, she believed a just punishment had been served, and they'd both walked away with a fair trade. Viktor felt a little bit less sure about the whole situation though, and went straight to the police station to file a report against Olga for kidnapping and sexual abuse. When police arrived to question her, her response was, "What a bastard. Yeah, we had sex a couple of times, but I bought him new jeans, I gave him food, I even gave him 1,000 rubles when he left." The police were not buying the innocence of either party, so both Olga and Viktor were arrested. Alright guys, that's it for today's story. Remember to subscribe if you love hearing true tales of humans in abnormal predicaments. And please like this video if you made it this far. Stay safe out there, and as always, stay bent.